Alright, so it dawned on me this morning when I was getting off work that today is Friday the 13th. So that means it's time to rank the franchise by that name. So we'll be talking about, in only a theatrical version extent, we'll be talking about Friday the 13th, the original, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, which was not the final chapter, that is misleading, Part 5, New Beginning, Part 6, Jason Lives, Part 7, New Blood, 8, Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, as well as the remake. Those are the titles that we'll be talking about. And without further delay, like I mentioned, we'll only be doing the theatrical cuts or whichever versions I've actually seen, which for the remake is the extended version. But let's see. In last place for me is Part 8, solely because the title is inaccurate. It's more like he takes a boat to Manhattan than actually taking Manhattan. That implies that he takes over the place, and he doesn't. After that one is going to be Jason X, because it's too futuristic to be believable in a franchise that's largely set in the 80s. And then in between those, or after those two, is Jason Goes to Hell. And then after that one is going to be Part 5, A New Beginning. Jason is actually not the killer here, but there still is a ski or hockey mask wearing lunatic running around. And then for number 3, I would probably, or for the third movie, I'd probably like it better if I had seen it in 3D, because in a 2D version with the 3D effects, it doesn't work all that well. And then one I like a little bit more than that is Part 4 here, which was, at the time when it was released in 1984, the final chapter, but it ended up having more sequels, so that title went out of date the very next year. But then next up, after those, I like number 6, Jason Lives, because this brought back Jason Voorhees, and he started killing people again. And he ends up getting tied to a big old rock and sent to the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake's lake. Okay. And then after that is going to be Part 7, The New Blood. Followed by Part 1. This one is 4th from the top for me. This gave a good introduction to the franchise without introducing Jason at this point. And then I like Part 2 just a little bit more because Jason shows up and starts wreaking havoc, like you'd expect from a Jason Voorhees-centered franchise. And then our runner-up is the Friday the 13th remake for the extended cut. Like I said, I have not seen the regular version. I think I could be mistaken, or vice versa. In any case, this one's in second place, and my favorite of the bunch is Freddy vs. Jason, because it combines A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is my personal favorite. I'm Team Freddy, and Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th, this franchise, with each other in a satisfying way. So there you have my ranking of this franchise on the day, or on a Friday the 13th. I don't know if it takes place in October or not, but there you go.